welcome to Boys episode 118.
118.
Whee!
That's so many. The more we get into the hundreds, the more I'm just like, wow.
It's a special feeling for many reasons, one of which we have a couple of ladies. Let's make a big deal about it. Women,
right?
on the female hating show that is boyspodcast.com.
Oh, we hate so many women. We've had 4 on.
I want to clear the air, ladies, if you don't mind. We love women. I love women. All women.
But not in a creepy way?
No. Just in a sensual, young, fish-netted boy way. We want more women guests, to be honest. It's just, how do we get them? How do we get other ladies? Well, we're making a good start tonight.
You can ask them.
You ask them, yes.
We've asked. I think sometimes ladies feel intimidated about coming on the show. Maybe because it is a lot of male guests. I don't know.
Well, and it is boys, so I guess they can feel turned off to the...
This is an open invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Any lady that has something to promote, something to talk about, come on over, sit down. I'll clear you a spot.
We'll make a
you a
meeting note
carpet
of it
square.
in our next women's secret club.
Okay, good. Oh,
I knew you guys
meet
had
once a
those.
week.
Yeah.
yeah, this is paying off already.
We meet on Thursdays at 7.
So why don't you guys go
can't
ahead
tell
and
you where
introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Diana Montgomery.
Hi, I'm Chelsey Wilson.
And this is so special because we have Josh's wife here tonight.
Yeah,
And
it's in no way weird.
no, I'm sure it's not. You saw how that worked out for me last time.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's all good, really. It's fine. Thanks for coming, ladies.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So you guys ladies have a little endeavor you have going on here, and part of the reason you came tonight was to talk about that. So let's just kick off the show with that. Tell us about your endeavor. I'm putting you on the spot. Diana, go.
Yeah.
Go. Tell me your 8 favorite things about the endeavor.
Wow, that's a lot. So we run Champion Vintage OKC. We started it over the summer. Josh and I actually started it 2 years ago. We did a couple pop-ups, got busy with the life, and just, trying to think of what I want to do with my life. And I was like, well, I'm going to do this. So I asked Chelsey if she wanted to help me, and, we had a good time, and it seems to be going well. And so she is an official partner now. We're going to incorporate and, take over the internet, basically.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. And we're going to help you.
Thanks.
Yes,
this is
thank you
This is
so
a huge
much.
step for you, ladies.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say guy and then correcting myself, ladies.
I think...
Is that okay? Can I say you guys?
You can say guys.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
care.
All right.
Yeah, is that okay? I've been wondering about
I
that a
mean,
lot.
we're feminists, but we're not mean about it.
Right. But you're the good kind.
Some people
Yeah.
get really
Wow.
offended when you use the term guys
It's-
colloquially to talk about a group
it's
of
silly.
people.
It's silly.
Very silly.
So, Chelsey, when you came into Champion Vintage, what's your role? What's your role in the whole game here?
Well, I started out, I'm a teacher, so I was on summer break, and I get really, really bored. And I knew she was doing it, and I've always wanted to, get involved in something like that. And she's my best friend, so I did. And it's really fun. We
really
get to go
nice.
shopping together and all that stuff. We get to hang out more, and that's what I love about it.
So do you guys go picking?
Yeah, we do go picking.
Okay.
We don't have the same schedule, so sometimes we do a little solo picking.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the main reasons I brought Chelsey on too is that she is very personable and sociable, and I am not so much. So I'm like, you're now the face of this company. Please go talk to everyone, so I don't have to.
See, that's what I think about Josh and I. He's the bartender. He's the social butterfly.
Yeah.
I have the talent, and it just works out really well. It's so far so good.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Josh,
and I,
thanks,
Josh,
man.
we're just talkers.
You need the talent. You need the face.
I
got it.
I got the face for radio. Josh is an attractive guy.
Thank you.
He's a young go-getter.
He's okay.
Teetering on middle-aged go-getter. We'll go
You're a
with that.
solid 5, Josh.
Thanks, man.
What?
Appreciate it.
That's good.
Does it make you a 4? 4.5?
What?
4.75?
Double it.
Double it. 8.
So speaking of how hot I am, how hot we are as
Hot or not?
as an entity, I have a little announcement to make. Our last episode set a record number of listens over the weekend.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Congratulations.
exciting.
I don't want to give away any hard numbers,
Yeah, the analytics.
but double what we usually
we
get.
dubbed last episode.
Yeah, and I know
Nice.
why. because of that sexy little story I told last weekend.
Man, it was a doozy. And the thing, we didn't tee it up or anything.
Nope.
So that's why you have to listen to these eps. You never know what's gonna. And that came toward the end.
It was buried. It was buried deep. And,
like it was in your brain and
in
soul.
my soul. But yeah, it felt really good to check the analytics and the numbers and be like, holy shit. Somebody told a friend.
I want to ask you about that. So now that it's out in the open, your story you shared that you've been just holding in forever, did you have like a cathartic sense like of release? How do you feel a week later knowing?
Great. I'm glad it's out there. It's not anything to be ashamed of. I own it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with who I am. I'm a freak.
I think you said it in a previous episode. I'm a freak. Deal with it.
Yeah.
I think that's like the older you get, you start letting go of more and more things that you just held on to in your youth or childhood. Like I gotta look cool. I gotta be cool. Even though when you were in that story, when you were living it, you probably thought, this is so fucking cool.
I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was going to work. It did not work. But you live and you learn. And and here we are. But to tie it in, so the dress I wore in that story, I bought at a thrift store. And when we decided to have y'all on, I started thinking about thrifting. I started thinking about how important that's been for most of my, well, not so much now, but my younger years. That's like what I did. Like I loved picking. I loved, and not to sell, not to flip, but to wear.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of sex. But one of the questions we had for you guys is, growing up, did you do a lot of thrift store shopping when you were a kid? Adolescent years, teenage years.
Oh, okay. Teenage years, yeah. Adolescent, no. I mean, I got my sister's hand-me-downs,
Not the same thing.
but that's not the same thing.
That's
I
like
never got
the
new
family
clothes.
thrift store.
I feel like that is your first. Yeah, the family thrift store is like.
I was the same. I'm the youngest sister.
Yeah,
So
youngest
yeah.
sister.
So you got all the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
See, I never got a hand-me-down.
They were all the things
Ever.
that I got yelled at for trying to wear when my sister had them.
exactly.
So by the time they got to me, they were out of style and no one wanted to wear them anymore.
So I'm the middle. I have an older brother, and I was the same way. I would get my brother's hand-me-downs when he would get new school clothes, and I think maybe that's what made me totally comfortable and fine with buying clothes at a thrift store. It's like, yeah, I'm used to wearing other people's shit anyway. I might as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about it that way.
Find my own style. But when you go, like when I was a kid and I didn't really know what I was looking for. Like now I go and like I make a beeline to the sections I know I want. I'm looking out for what I want. But when you're a kid, you kind of just grab it and go, and you make like a hodgepodge mishmash of styles and hope that it works. Did you guys have that when you were kids? Like as a dude, like it was like got to find the jeans or like grandpa pants and like a cool T-shirt that says like Jim's Trucking Company on it or something, you know?
Or a nice hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the idea was always to wear something ironically, which is still the same. You know, like I think my favorite T-shirt when I was in high school was like, my grandson is like an Army veteran or something like that, or my grandson's in the Navy.
Grandson?
I know, I was like 16 at the
Isn't
time.
that funny?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
But and Josh and I were talking about this the other day. Like the thing that for some reason all of us wore in high school were tuxedo pants. Like to find the perfect pair of tuxedo pants to wear with your ironic T-shirt that's, you know, absurdly small or whatever.
You got yourself a look at that point.
Yeah.
You're just a couple jelly bracelets and
You
butterfly
get
clips
the ball
away.
chain from Lowe's or whatever, you know.
Oh, they came on the big
yeah,
spool.
those-
Yeah, you had to get like the giant ball necklace and your jellies from Claire's.
See, I
Are you talking about the things from Gadzooks?
Like
Yeah,
the big
it's a
fat
steel-
ball chain.
yeah.
See, but
Yeah.
that
The
see,
big
I
ones.
did that too. I would go to like I would actually get mine from Claire's boutiques. They were like $5 or whatever. But yeah, go to Lowe's, you get them cheaper and you get a bunch more.
You can make that, if you're doing the bracelet, you can wrap it a bunch of times.
Oh, it's so many. I mean, I got one right here. Yeah.
See, I was never that resourceful.
If you go to Gadzooks, you could get it for free because you steal it. Because their customer service was awful. That may be why they're
I
not a
worked
store
there.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why
So
they
you
went out of
know.
business.
It was one of my 59 jobs or whatever. Worked at Gadzooks. Yeah, like it was like it always felt like a hunt. It still kind of does to this day when I go to a thrift store. Like I get just the slightest sense of what's the word? Not paranoia, but like a little discomfort of like, oh, I hope I find something. Like you don't want to walk out empty-handed.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's
Very disappointing.
Then that happens a lot now. I don't want to look to the past with rose-colored glasses, but I feel like when I was a kid, I could always find something. Maybe my
Yeah.
standards were lower.
No,
But-
I think it's just become like a much more like normal thing. You know, we all know a ton of people who do the same thing.
Right.
So, and especially if you go to places in the city, like it's very picked over. You know, everybody's looking through it. So you have to kind of branch out and go to like, you know, Shawnee or Guthrie to find something really cool now.
Like small town USA.
Yeah.
Well, now, yeah, you have to get something that's better than everything else. Like, oh, I found this at a thrift store. Like, I'm wearing a shirt from a thrift store now.
Me too.
Look at
Not me. I
No,
feel left
not me
out.
either.
that.
I'm a-
Suckers.
There's no-
AMP.
There's nothing better though than finding that find.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and I found a lot of different weird things at a thrift store. What was your greatest thrift store find ever? I'll
Right.
start while you think. I
I
went to
already know mine. I'm
Colorado.
ready.
Oh,
No, you
awesome.
go ahead. Yeah.
Ladies first.
Well, thank you, sir. It was a shirt. It was red, and it had kind of like it was kind of glittery, the pattern, but it had very like Fraggle Rock type characters on it, and it said, "Be alert. The world needs more alerts." And
What?
to me, it was the funny.
Was it like a T-shirt or like
Yes, it was a T-shirt. It was like a child's T-shirt.
a? Okay.
And if you know me now, you know that I wear the same shirts over and over and over again. I still
think you
did
only
that.
own 5 of them.
Yeah, I rotate them.
Was that your
And
go?
I did the same thing.
Was that your go-to shirt?
That was my go-to shirt.
Nice. I think I can think back on in junior high, mostly high school, and every member of my group of friends, you could tell they had a favorite because it would rotate. It would be the one that they wore every week. Some of them come and go, but there's like, that's the one.
But nothing was better and still better than that go-to shirt.
Mhm.
I still have
And
them.
you get so excited when you got to wear it again.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's been a week.
No, you
I
immediately
think I
wash
could wear
them.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've taken off the shirt and washed it just so I could cue it back up. You know,
Yeah.
right.
3 days
You gotta
from
make
now.
sure you're
2
ready
days.
for it
Yeah, I
when you
can't-
want to wear it again.
Can't be 2 days in a row.
What was your
Oh,
find,
I do that
Robbie?
all the time.
I found a vintage receiver, like an old Pioneer receiver. I
Yeah.
was going to Colorado to see the White Stripes long time ago. This is like when they first hit it big,
Like 02, maybe.
long ago.
Mhm.
And happened upon a thrift store and actually had 2 really great finds that day. I found this old Pioneer receiver. I didn't even plug it in to test it. I was like, this thing's awesome. It was beautiful. It had like the silver face and it all lit up blue. It was vintage. It had the wood on the sides, very heavy, probably like 40 or 50 pounds.
Mhm.
Didn't even test it. I was like, man, it's $10. I'm going to get it. Whatever. So I get it. I put it in my truck and I bring it home. I also got a beautiful old vintage chair that was just so tight. And I had that chair for so long. And the day I had to get rid of that chair was just heartbreaking. Like it finally just saw its last day.
Were you just, like moving it so much that eventually, yeah.
Yeah, the piss, all the stuff, you know, just I eventually had to put it on the curb. I brought the receiver home, fired it up. It worked perfectly. I used this receiver for many years. Loved it. Oh, the music that came out of that thing.
For $10.
$10.
Dude, I love that.
So eventually the left channel started to kind of go out. Like I had to go do that thing where you like press the button in real hard and kind of get the dirt out of there. And
Did you blow on it?
Oh, I tried it all, girl. I tried deoxit. I tried compressed air. I tried my mouth. I tried everything.
It's like becomes one of those things where like that's just what it is. Like when you have a car that has something wrong with it, like, well, the door doesn't shut, but if you hold the handle while you shut it,
Right.
then it'll shut, like that kind of thing. So it just became that.
But you love the car, so it's worth
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Jiggle the handle, so to speak.
Yeah.
So eventually it started getting worse and worse. And at first you could go press the button in a whole bunch and kind of get it to work. And eventually it started to go out. So I thought, again, much like the chair, I had to part ways. I was like, all right, I'm going to put this thing on Craigslist. I'm going to sell it for parts. So I sell it on Craigslist for, I think, $20. Okay?
Profit.
Fast forward a couple years and I get to thinking, I'm like, what would the Pioneer SPX 80 go for?
Oh,
I
no.
got on eBay
Ooh.
and they were going for between $3,000 and $5,000.
Oh my God.
And broken for parts were going for well over $1,000.
And you sold it for $20.
$20. When the guy showed up to buy it, he could not pull his wallet out fast enough. I mean, he was
He
like
knew.
trembling to buy this broken receiver. And I was like, idiot, you know?
So, but was,
Broken.
Yeah.
did you resell during? Well, I guess you'd put it on Craigslist, so you could have looked it up. But you
I
just
didn't.
think to.
Hindsight's 20/20 is what they
It
say.
is. It is. But That's one of those things, like gear that got away. Like, but I thought about that. Like, is that what hoarding is? People are like, this has value. Someday this will have value. So I'm just gonna just pile all this shit up until eventually I can sell it for millions of dollars.
Right. I would say that's an extreme case of selling the receiver many times over, thousands of receivers. But yeah, I think it is. I mean, my grandma, God rest her soul, she was a pack rat. She lived through the Great Depression. She saved everything. She saved like ads in the newspaper in case she needed some scrap paper. Like, I'm like, Grandma, you can't even write on that. Oh, I can write on the side over here.
You never know.
She would save, like if a string came off my shirt, she would save the string.
You need thread sometimes.
Right? And you might need a purple thread. You know, I did look good in purple. She saved everything. So when she passed away and we went through her belongings, it was like a time capsule. I mean, there was stuff in there. Like there was like highlights for children from like 1987 that I had when I was a kid. There was all this stuff. Like I love, right? Are you a Goofus or Gallant gal?
I'm not quite sure what you're talking about.
Okay.
Goofus and Gallant was there. Yeah, right. My wife is a highlights poser.
Highlights poser. There
I
we
don't
go.
know either. It's okay. I just read them in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Well, Goofus and Gallant were brothers. I believe they were brothers.
I believe so.
And Goofus was an idiot. And Gallant was...
His name was Goofus.
Yeah, and Gallant was...
He was
Sorry,
He was gallant.
He was gallant.
Yeah.
Guess
And
it
it was
wasn't that
like-
invested.
It wasn't that
Well,
great.
that's
It was
okay.
pretty lame.
I actually
But
didn't
it was
know.
like a comic strip, right?
It was like Goofus does this, but Gallant does, and it was trying to teach you like to not be an idiot asshole.
Don't be
basically.
Goofus.
So,
Yeah.
did you get these at home, or
Whoa.
I thought they only went to doctor's office
No.
until I
They
was
were
an
by
adult.
subscription.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandmas
And to
across
me-
the country got their
Only
first
grandmas.
born.
Not my grandma.
Only
grandmas.
grandmas.
Not this grandma.
That was my
Not this
first.
grandma.
That was
my
my favorite
My grandma
thrift
just
store
stuffed me
shirt.
with food.
It said, not this grandma.
This
Not this
grandma.
grandma.
That was probably my first subscription ever. Was Highlights magazine.
Mine was Hustler.
Real cool.
I was 3.
Nice.
What was your favorite thrift store find, Diana? Or one of the favorites. Doesn't have to be the favorite. You could just make something up.
Well, I guess this is kind of morbid, but I found this. I used to go to this Army surplus store in Galveston because I used to live in Houston. And it was what I imagine your grandmother's house looked like, but with World War II artifacts. But I found this like actual sniper pin, and it's kind of like skull and crossbones. It says 1 shot, 1 kill on it. And I still have it because it's creepy as hell.
That's pretty dope, though.
But I guess the coolest story I have, which is kind of creepy now that I think about it, I had this t-shirt in high school and it said El Dorado Stingrays, and it was like one of those like old baseball style shirts, and I lived on El Dorado Street at the time. So that was my favorite shirt, and I wore it all the time, and I wore it to a hot water music show in Houston, and I wanted to get a t-shirt, but I didn't have enough money, so I was like 17, and I was like, I have $9, like, can I get a shirt or whatever? And I'm pretty sure it was Chuck Reagan who I was speaking to, and he said that I could buy a t-shirt for $9 if I traded him my shirt.
Like right there?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you did it right.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, for some reason, when I was a teenager, I always wore 2 shirts, like, in case I needed an extra
that
one.
undershirt.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Classic
right.
double
But
up.
I'm pretty sure he just wanted me to take my shirt off.
Yeah.
But Chuck Reagan has my El Dorado Stingray shirt.
That's cute.
That's
That's a
awesome.
great story.
Yeah, it
I've
is.
never had anything that cool happen to me. Oh,
You've never been, like, an old man has not been a predator against you?
Not
as a teenager
recently.
girl?
Did you
Okay.
take your shirt off?
I when on that same trip that I bought the receiver, went to see the White Stripes, and I can't remember the name of the opening band, but I had, when I was young, I'd kind of dress up to go to a concert. Like you'd put on a nice
yeah.
shirt,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
some
remember
nice
that.
jeans, maybe some boots.
It's
you
like a
know.
personal date night for yourself.
Well, it was
Yeah,
a
you
date.
gotta look cool.
I was
Oh,
there
okay.
with my girlfriend at the time. And I had like this nice black button-up shirt with like these embroidered like flowers on top. Now, it wasn't like Youth Pastor, like Rascal Flats or something.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like
Wow.
Western looking.
Pointy boots and embroidered jeans.
Oh yeah, with all the bedazzled cheeks.
I have the best mental picture.
Oh, it was I had like spiky bleach tipped hair.
I'm gonna just step in, Steve, for a second. Was that your I'm going out shirt, like your go-to going out shirt?
That was my I'm gonna go see the White Stripes in Denver shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it for the night. Just so happened the bass player in the opening band, exact same shirt,
What?
That's embarrassing.
same hair. I had long hair at the time. Same part.
So everyone thought you were trying to be him.
Well, Only one person, and the only person that mattered,
One you were with.
the bartender.
Oh.
So I walk up to order like a Crown and Coke or something, and he just slides it over to me.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Because
And
you're
it-
in the band.
Yeah. And at first I thought, well, maybe my girlfriend started a tab and he saw us together. Maybe he just put two and two together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Then came the double fisting.
Yeah.
And I probably had like 12 that night. Like, I went hard
Free?
for free
That's
at a
amazing.
venue.
Now, here's the thing. You weren't planning on going hard. You knew it's a show. You don't want to spend too much money on drinks because it's always a huge upcharge at shows. So you're like, I'll probably have a couple.
Yeah.
But when you realized that he thought you were the guy, did you just milk it?
Oh, I was like a cartoon character with the money signs popping out of my eyes. And I just wanted to wet my beak a little.
Sure.
You know?
With
Sure.
12 drinks.
12 drinks later.
Yeah.
Well, when you know you're getting free beverages, it's hard not to, a la Denver MXPX show green room.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. There was no stealing. Well, was it stealing?
free.
Was
It's
it
there.
stealing?
It's just out there. It's like if there's a free food sitting out, like a craft services-esque table, you can eat as much as you want.
Well, you broke their bottle of tequila, though.
I did not do that. It was an earthquake or something.
I went hard at the MXPX show. After we podcasted with the guys, they were like, hey, there's free beers over here. And I kind of did the old
What?
They
Denver
said they were
switcheroo.
free.
Yeah.
They're
Here's the
free.
thing. It was a one-night show. The fridge was literally, it was so full of beer, you couldn't move anything around. It was just case of beer. It was just like a, what's that? Jenga? It's like Jenga
Yeah.
into the fridge.
Hey, I was just trying to help. I was
Yeah.
just making a little room.
That's
make
That was
a
very
moment.
courteous of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a lot of room.
Yeah.
I think there was a time we were sitting, it was like a kind of a horseshoe type venue with a balcony. And we were up like right off the stage, second level, first row, right there. And I think there was a time I was like, Josh, I'm going to go get us some beers, dude. And I come back and I think I had 6
Yeah.
in my arms like a
But-
child.
So and there was like bar stools and like kind of like a mini bar thing you can put your drinks on. It was just like lined up, just ready to go. Because you don't have to go back downstairs.
No.
You don't want to miss a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Don't want to miss a thing.
Gotta be prepared.
So my thirst story, I wouldn't call it a find, but it was my, I got it, loved the way I looked in it, and wore it repeatedly. You might remember this shirt. It's a white shirt of a defunct airline called Northwest Airlines. And I wore the shirt all the fucking time, but it was white. So you may get like 2 good months of wear at it before it starts to show the stains. I don't know what it is about white t-shirts.
It's a curse.
I don't even like, so I have 2 white t-shirts that I'm no longer allowed to wear.
Nope.
Because they're stained.
Are they, hold on. Oh, we're getting the dirt, literally and figuratively.
I'll tell you
tonight.
whatever you want to know.
Oh, yes. Stains or dingy?
Dingy.
Okay, not stains. Not like
No.
a spaghetti stain and like a
No,
mustard
he's
stain,
not, he's not
red
like
wine.
he's not a dirty person.
No, not at all.
But they are a shade of gray now. And I refuse to be seen in public when he wears them.
But they're my most comfortable shirts.
Wear them under something.
Yeah, dude. Like old 2-shirt Diana over here. Take
Yeah.
after your
2
wife.
shirts D over here. I never got the wearing 2 t-shirts. I had a buddy who would do that. I had a buddy, he would wear 5.
What?
Well, okay, that's extreme.
Yeah, I think he was tooting a little too much. And this guy, like, his mode of thinking was,
Is he dead now?
no, I'll take
Just
one
checking.
off and just wear the next one tomorrow. I'm like, or you could just put that fucking shirt on tomorrow, man.
He's like a human ball of rubber bands at this
Yeah.
point. Why 5?
Well, one for each day of the week. So he'd pop one off and wear the other one that day, and then pop another one off, and that's what he's wearing next.
Diana, is Josh a liar?
No.
It
Okay,
says
okay.
Mike Powers, Mikey P.
5 shirts.
He would just
Was he
it's like-
homeless?
At a time, yeah. Did he not have anywhere to put the shirts
No,
at
he
the
had plenty
time?
of places to put shirts. I guess it might have. And he didn't do it a lot, but it may have been like one of those like weird experiments. I'm gonna see if I can do this. But my thought is, even wearing just 2 shirts, it just seems like sticky and hot. I was a sweater as a kid.
I was a sweaty kid. That's why I wore
did you
2
pit
shirts.
stains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had pit stains.
That's why I started wearing
I
black
think
t-shirts.
that was adolescence, though. I think going
Oh, yeah,
through,
that was teenage
I could
hormones.
not stop sweating no
Yeah.
matter where I
yeah,
went.
just
what I
smear some
did.
aluminum on it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's totally good for you.
My mom was like worried about me. She gave me that Mitchum stuff. That
Yeah.
didn't work.
Mitch.
My
Like, you know what?
sister-
I grew out of it.
So did you just
You gotta
smell
too.
like just
I didn't smell.
musky man?
It was just sweat.
Yeah.
I didn't
This
smell.
was like before they made like professional secret or whatever it's called. Yeah, you had to do some deep digging at the pharmacy to find that shit that would work.
And I'm guessing it was pretty expensive too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
A premium price here.
Premium product.
Yeah. To not be a sweaty teenage girl.
Like real high on the shelf, I'm guessing.
No, low.
Low, down low.
Yeah.
But it was.
They don't want people raising their arms getting fucking
No,
sweat
yeah,
on
that
everybody.
But I was.
Humiliating.
No, I felt humiliated buying that
Yeah.
stuff.
Hey, sweaty, it's on the top shelf. I reach up there and get it.
All the
There's a brand
employees
called-
are staring at you.
There's a band called Certain Dry, DRI, and it was like super intense
That's
for not
the
sweat.
only thing you could buy. A certain.
And
drug.
I felt
Or
so
Mitchum.
embarrassed to buy it, so I'd have that, and I'd buy like two, like buying condoms or something. So you just buy a couple of other things. So you maybe the cash.
You just put it under something.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll just swipe it.
No, if you can't tell that I'm sweating through this fucking shirt that I'm wearing right now, I need this, obviously.
Why is it so embarrassing to buy rubbers, man? I get so embarrassed. Well, I mean,
I don't think it's embarrassing.
I don't wear them, but
I don't
it's
think it's
embarrassing.
embarrassing so much as it's like this person knows what I'm gonna go do.
Hey, you know
And
where
it's
that's
like,
gonna
shameful.
go.
It's
like I'm
they're
having
getting
sex,
into that
I'm
intimate part
ashamed.
of your life, and you're like, I don't know you, and I don't want you to be there.
Right above that, I'm going to say number one with the goddamn bullet is buying toilet paper. I don't know why I always feel like they're like, I don't know what you're going to do. Yeah, everyone does. I have to wipe.
Oh,
I have
that's
to
not
get
like
it
that
out
for
somehow.
women because we need it all the time.
That's
so
true. You guys get that out.
I have no problem buying toilet paper.
But when I see
You get that-
a woman buying toilet paper, I'm always like, that's going down there somewhere.
Oh my god.
one or the other.
Well, I've had
No, I
girlfriends.
don't.
Okay, well
do that.
now I have a problem with
Yeah.
it.
I've had girlfriends who would make me go buy them tampons because they were embarrassed to buy them.
Doesn't
like, "Dude,
bother me at all.
No, I'm like, I'll get it, but why? You should be. What?
You know, sometimes you just don't have any, and it surprises you. Okay.
Sure, but I mean, like, I had a girlfriend who every time would make
Yeah,
me go
that's
do it
not
because
right.
she just did not. She felt uncomfortable. I'm like,
Keyword
I think
had.
had.
I think it's more uncomfortable because like you always end up in like a guy's line and he like touches your feminine products, like you're gonna bleed all over him or something, and just like
Oh.
throws it in
Or
the
then
bag.
they try not to like
He's
talk.
like, it's like this, and he
Yeah.
goes,
They try not to make eye
Straight up.
contact with you. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I
no
don't
eye
know.
contact, no talking. Once they realize that you're getting like a tampon
It's like
box
they're
or whatever.
scared that we're gonna be real bitchy or something,
Right.
Because we're on our period.
Hey, she's
so-
OTR.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I imagine him like putting the Walmart bag like in his hand, like he's picking up dog shit, turning it upside down. Like, dude, they're not used
yeah.
Yet.
every
They
time.
will be.
I haven't bought condoms in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in an LTR.
That's two
Congratulations.
acronyms you've thrown in the
Do
past
we-
20 seconds.
Do we need the acronyms?
Lord of the
LTR.
Rings. Oh, it's LOTR, sorry.
LTR with my GF. I don't WRs. She's on BC. We are M with EO.
Do you PO
And there's
and then
NN.
B on the T's?
I'm trying to follow this.
No,
I got some of them.
I usually PO and N on the B.
Ah.
Leave that to the
Oh,
imagination.
I get it.
Either or.
Okay, that's awkward. But the last when I met her,
Mm-hmm.
I did wear condoms for a while.
You don't know.
as
I
a-
mean,
As
you don't
you
know.
should.
You gotta be.
You-
You gotta be
you-
safe.
I'm scared of pregnancy. You know,
No one wants a baby.
no. I'm 37 years old. If I
That's
don't have
the
AIDS by
worst
now,
STD
I'm in
ever.
the clear. It's fine. It is. Oh, well,
That one lasts for a lifetime.
an
A
STD
lifetime.
you have to feed.
But isn't it like
No.
the fastest growing demographic that are getting AIDS are like old people, like seniors, because they don't wear rubbers either?
But I think it's like senior citizens, right? Like old people.
Yeah, like your grandpa,
like-
you're just fucking slinging that dick around left and right.
Wow.
My grandpa is a master
What?
coxman. Master.
I don't even know. I don't
Is
even
he
know
like
what
in
to
a
do with that.
home where he's just
No.
slaying it?
He
Oh,
is
okay.
91.
Instead of home going to everyone's room.
Hey,
91.
I watch TV. I know how it works.
Lives on his own and has several girlfriends.
Good for him.
And tells me, so I go pick up, and we've talked about this on the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
before, but just a quick recap. My grandpa lives very close to me. So when I go out to Choctaw to see my dad, I usually go pick up my grandpa and we ride out there together. It's the least I can do, right?
Yeah.
I love the man. As soon as he gets in my car, it's a brand new story about somebody's titties or
Oh.
a lady got in the shower with him naked. And every time he's like, my dick doesn't work, but I sure love boobs. That's all he says. Well, that's not all he says.
Yeah.
That's usually the end of the story,
What I know,
the epilogue.
I don't want to jump back on your grandpa again, but what I love about that, all of the stories, he's just so innocent.
He sounds like a 5-year-old boy.
Because he got married super young. Was
Oh,
with
yeah.
the one woman forever.
He's sowing his wild oats just now instead of before.
But when you can't, God, I thought about it. When I think about the stories, I'm like, man, I mean, he could take like Cialis or something and go to town.
And have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, 91's a little old for that. But
He got his first blowjob at 90.
What?
Yep. And he told me, he's like, your grandma didn't do that. She didn't do that kind of thing.
He told you this?
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is just the tip
literally,
of my grandpa's dick. Of the
Unintended.
iceberg. Right.
it's so crazy.
He's a wonderful man. Every time I buy condoms, though,
You think of your grandpa?
I do. I take them with me. Like, I try this on, make sure it fits. No, I do that thing where like I put them in the basket and then I put like a loaf of bread over them or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I should walk around being like, hey,
I'm
getting
getting
laid.
laid.
I'm
Yeah.
getting laid.
medium-sized penis guy. Notice they're not the magnums. But
Did you
guess
ever
where
buy
they're
magnums to like try to look cool?
Yeah, and I rolled them back over my balls.
Wow.
No, I didn't. No, I've never.
That's a waste of money.
Right.
Did you,
It's a
Josh?
Waste of plastic.
You know,
That shit goes up to your elbow.
it's crazy.
Yeah, they tend to stretch.
I'm gonna call out a previous guest, future guest, probably, Colin Butler. He would take. I would drive him on our lunch breaks to go to Eckerd Drugs, a company that's no longer around, to buy condoms because he was sexually active with his girlfriend. I was not sexual. I was still a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
And he
When
would
did
buy
you lose your virginity?
18th birthday.
Okay.
And he would buy Magnums. I'm like, why are you buying? You don't need a Magnum. But it's because you hear like it's got a big
Cocktail
dick.
bar.
So that's my first time I ever bought condoms. I bought Magnums. I was like, wow, what is wrong with my dick?
Guess it's still growing. I don't know.
Right? Your nose, your ears, and your dick. Those are the things that keep growing, right?
My grandpa has a big
Isn't there a
nose.
song when we were a kid? Head, shoulders, dicks, and toes.
That is not Josh urinating. That is Chelsea making a. What do you
Fresh
call it? A
beverage.
grandma
And a
drink?
cocktail.
What do you got there?
A grandma drink. It's LaCroix and Tito's.
A little bit of a beverage.
Beer makes me bloated.
Yeah, man, that's one of those things. Like you get older. I mean, we were
Yeah,
previously sponsored by
it
Hampton
is.
Brewing. Beer's great. You don't get wasted on it, but it does make you.
You can get wasted on beer. I'm sorry.
I mean, not as much as a cocktail, but you
Oh, you can. It just takes a lot
Yeah.
more.
Takes a
Yeah.
lot more beer.
And with me, it's like when I drink, I like to drink, so I drink a lot of beer, and I just end up feeling like I ate an entire loaf of bread that was once on top of a box of condoms.
Yeah, I'll feel like I'll feel like I have a stomach ache and bloated before I get drunk, and that's not a good feeling. So you're
I know.
right.
You
You're right with
you anticipate. Oh, beer drinking. Oh my gosh. So I guess I'm not gonna eat dinner
yeah.
because I can't do both. You just can't do it. So that's where the Tito's comes into.
This podcast is
Into
brought to
play.
you by Tito's
Please,
handmade
Tito's.
vodka.
please. So okay, so
Tito,
And LaCroix.
you listening, Tito?
And LaCroix.
So we talked about like the fear or anxiety of buying things at a store. I was forced. I was at gunpoint to buy tampons for an ex-girlfriend. Did you guys ever do a condom purchase, or did you always leave that to the dudes? I'm always curious about that with girls. Have you ever like?
I've done it, but you know what the worst thing to ever buy is? Plan B.
Oh.
Everyone is judging you. It's like, you don't know my life, but everyone. And one time, oh my God, story. I went into Walgreens to buy it. This was years ago. And a former teacher who is the mother of one of my best teacher friends, she walked in and stood right behind me. And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh,
I'm terminating a pregnancy.
nothing."
Yeah.
'Cause it was
I made a mistake last
it was in
night.
it was in the middle of the day, and she walks in, and I thought, "Oh, hey," and she was just gonna go shop, but no,
A quick
no,
hi
no,
bye.
no. She stood right behind me. She needed something from the counter. I was like, "Oh, okay." She was like, "What do you got there?" And I was like, "Plan B."
I was going to say, what did you
I'm
say?
in a relationship. She goes,
I'm in a committed relationship.
she was like, "Oh, I'm not judging." I was like, "Okay."
She walks off, she's like,
Yeah,
murderer.
so I tell my friend at school, I was like, "So I saw your mom the other day at Walgreens while I was buying Plan B," and she was like, "Oh."
Oh my gosh.
But
yeah.
her mother is a modest lady, didn't tell her about, she said, "Oh, I saw Chelsey at Walgreens the other day." And that's all she said.
I saw that
Good
slide
woman.
t-shirt of yours
Good
buying
woman.
Plan B. I bought Plan B before, but I didn't know that it was like over the counter.
It's over the counter
You could
now.
just
It is now.
It is
get
now. It used
Yeah.
to be prescription.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, listen to me. I'm like, here, I'm the expert on Plan B, apparently.
She pulls out her punch card. Almost full.
yeah.
Get my next one for free.
Yeah. 10th one's free.
That's not true, people.
No, it is not.
Well,
So
the
you-
night is young.
It is.
Ooh.
Right? So you just started back school, right? It's back
I
to
did.
school season.
Yeah. It's
How's that
back to
going?
school. It's going
Third
really
day.
good.
Did it start?
It started on Thursday. I went back last Monday.
I miss that
Today's
back
day
to school
3.
feeling.
Do you?
I miss
Dude, okay,
buying school
you
supplies.
can have it.
Yes, the smell.
I went
Yeah.
to Target the other day just to pick up some provisions, and I walk around the corner. And there's that they always have that 4 aisles of back to school stuff, and I saw these kids like ages ranging from like 5 or 6 to like high school kids buying all their supplies. I'm like, man, there was something fun about going back to school supply shopping.
Yeah, it was like best part of school.
Yeah, but you know what
Get
you're
your
gonna have to do with all
Trapper
that
Keeper.
stuff. Oh, did you have a Trapper Keeper?
I had a Trapper Keeper.
Oh,
yeah.
we've had this conversation before. I was too poor to have a trapper keeper.
Mine was my
mom-
sister's.
Oh,
Hand me
There you
down.
Did you have a generic Trapper Keeper though?
no, I didn't get something like. I think that when I was finally in high school and like my sister went to college or something, my mom finally bought me one of those 5-star zip up.
Yeah.
See, I thought
Things.
5 stars were like the
I had
the
one
grown up
too,
version of a Trapper Keeper.
I thought they were for the college
Yeah,
kids.
no, that was
Yeah.
that was
You know,
high school.
That's how they marketed
for
it.
me.
We're like,
Mhm.
yeah, kids use Trapper Keepers. You're a grown up.
They're,
now.
Trapper Keepers have designs on them.
I always wanted a Lisa Frank
5
trapper
star
keeper.
doesn't.
I always wanted the ones that look like the Tame Impala album covers, like just with geometric shapes with like chrome and lightning.
Yeah.
And I loved back to school shopping. My dad, like, we didn't have a lot of money when I was growing up, but my dad was always super supportive of me being like artistic. And he would buy me whatever, like if I wanted colored pencils, like he wouldn't scrimp, he wouldn't get the Rose Art shitty crayons.
Sketchmate or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rose art.
No, it was Crayola all the way and the big pack.
Ooh.
And I mean, that's what all growing up. That's
With the
all I
sharpener
did.
on the bottom.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah.
Absolutely.
Did the
96
color
colors.
pencils come with the sharpener, or was that just the Crayolas?
I'm
No,
thinking
co-
the flip top box of crayons.
Yeah, the 64 pack with
Yeah.
the and it had the thing on, like,
64. Are you poor? 96, bro.
well, Rob, yeah, but I wasn't the dude.
So was I.
I had a classmate in school. He had multiples of the for the 4-packs you get
Yep.
at a restaurant.
Oh,
At Garfield's.
Aw,
Yeah.
he
Those are
was
his
trying.
colors. But he was smart. He's like, well, if you mix blue and yellow, you get green. Like, and that's how he would do it.
Hey, you know what you can get as a teacher though?
Hmm.
I mean, I'm sure you can get it as anything. You don't have to.
Oh,
be,
you got
you
the
don't
inside
have to be a
scoop.
teacher. But I do a lot of arts and crafts in my first 2 levels because I love it. And you can get class packs from Crayola where they have it's this whole big flip top container thing, and you can put or each container has like 15 of one color, 15 of another, like of each color, and
Can
they're
I
all
have
in
that?
there like categorized.
I would like
Yeah.
that for my
It's-
birthday next year.
Yeah.
Okay, I will get it for you.
So you can like
I will-
hand them out.
No, I have a little craft station because that's what I do, you know. And I'm weird, and I'm like, oh, go to my supply cart and get your markers,
Got glue sticks.
and now they know, like if it's categorized like that, they know to put it back in the right color.
Do you yell at your kids about Crayolas?
Yes,
Okay.
I bet you're a high
put it
school
back in the
teacher.
right spot. I am a high school teacher.
And give out
She is
crayons.
OCD.
That
Ah.
Wait, high
that-
school kids color?
That's
oh,
what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
They love it.
She has all these little
Like, ironically?
No,
She also
You would
has
be
all these like
surprised.
worksheets with like Roman emperors, and they color them.
and they color them.
That's dope. I never
See,
colored in high school.
I do story time every once in a while. You know, when things get stressful in
Like
high school.
Instagram stories?
No, real stories. They have to hear them.
Oh.
In fact, I make them put all of their electronics away completely. It's called story time. I turn the lights off. They grab a coloring sheet and all the markers that they want, or the color pencils, because it comes in color pencils too, not just markers.
I want both.
And I tell them, I read them a mythology story,
Mhm.
and they love it. And what's funny is the freshmen and sophomores are less. They don't like it as much. Oh,
'Cause
this
it's- 'cause
is
it's
stupid.
kid
This is
shit.
kids. And the seniors are like, yes,
We should
please.
it's easy.
Like, because
we
they
should preface that
well,
with you're
yeah.
a Latin teacher. You teach Latin.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and they know that in a matter of months, they're going to have to go off into the real world. And they just love coloring.
It's that senioritis, man.
It is. And so it's just like, I know you're stressed out. So I'm going to today, and I do it randomly. I don't plan them.
Right.
It's just when they're loud and obnoxious. And
Right.
I'm like, you know what? I think we need to calm down. I'm one of those kumbaya teachers.
I bet you're a good teacher.
Thank
But
you.
like,
I think I am.
But you probably have coworkers who are this. You don't need to name any names. The teacher who just does movie day all the time.
Yeah,
The
she's
movie
also
day
that teacher.
I'm movie day when I'm not there. I can't tell you how many times my students have seen Hercules, the Disney movie. But by the time that I'm the
Hercules
only
in the City starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, they would not watch that one.
Yeah.
They like cartoons. So if
Are you sure you're not teaching toddlers? Because it sounds
they're the same. Secret from me to you.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, I mean, so how long have you been teaching?
This is my 11th year.
So 11 years. So that's a decade. So over that time, you get to see like the changing, like, I don't want to say like, well, fashion, one of them, but just
oh yeah, no, I see that.
what kids are into.
Yeah, what they
So, like,
say, their lingo.
Yeah,
Well,
the
that's what I-
slang.
Like,
Mhm,
yes. So have you ever found yourself like saying something that's way outdated and they
Yeah.
correct you on it?
Yeah.
You're like, I thought that was still cool. I thought that was just cool.
Last year, and I say it ironically to kind of piss them off because it's funny to me, and I think I ruin it for them, which is also funny to me. So that's lit, fam.
Yeah.
That's
Which
lit, fam.
that's outdated now, right?
Oh
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I think so. I don't know.
Is saying
But-
that's lit almost like saying that's what's crack-a-lackin'?
No,
Is
that's lit means like that's totally.
No, I mean saying it
awesome.
out loud. You might as well be saying
Yeah, that's
what's
like
crack-a-lackin'
it's
because
like,
you're that outdated.
That's neato.
Yeah.
That's keen.
She's the bee's knees.
I heard
So last year, I actually had a student whom I love very, very much. She is hilarious, and to her class, I would walk in and I'd be like, "What up, fam? That's lit, fam." And she would be like, "Miss Wilson, please stop doing that. Like, that's so embarrassing for you." And I'm like, "Yeah, joke's on you because I don't care."
Like you're
Like-
trying to kill it. Like I'm
Right,
just trying
like,
to kill this fucking word.
What's funny is they think I'm trying to be cool, but I'm not at all. I don't care. And so she made me a cheat sheet, and on the top it said "slang for Wilson,"
Wow.
and it was like,
I've seen it. It's amazing.
yeah, it's
It's like
amazing.
a glossary.
Yeah,
do you have
pretty
do
much.
you have a picture of this on your
I
phone?
do actually.
We should read a couple.
Yeah, let's read some. I do know she put as far as that's lit, fam.
Mhm.
She wrote that on there, and she goes, "Don't say this ever. Old people say this when they want to be cool. So please stop."
Oh, did that just make you like die a little?
No, I was
not
like,
at all.
all right, so I'm gonna say it more.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I heard a new one the other day.
What's that?
I heard somebody reference a song and say, "Oh yeah, that one slaps." This is a new one. And then I
haven't
started
heard that one.
But then I started seeing it online. Like I saw it in a meme the next day, and then I saw it like, just on Instagram in a comment or something like, "Oh, that one slaps." I'm like,
I've heard that thrown around. I've heard also it fucks. Oh, that song fucks. I'm like, what does that mean?
you can't say that.
That
one
one's
at
kind of
school.
old.
Really?
That's old. It
Yeah.
fucks.
They say
That was-
it in school.
That
It
was a
doesn't
couple
matter.
months ago, man.
I've never
See,
actually heard that one, but
I haven't been back to high school since I did a little student teaching about 2 years after I graduated. I would be terrified to go back now.
it's scary. It's really scary. If you haven't been doing it for a long time, I feel so bad for entry level teachers. Like, I don't know how. I don't think I would make it for sure. But like,
You don't think if you had you didn't have the years under your belt that you have now that you
I don't
wouldn't
think
make
I
it
could.
now?
I really don't. Like, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. My personality and all that would carry over. But I've had such a.
You're hardened.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of students who go from Latin 1 to Latin 4, so I have them for 4 years, and they have siblings, and then, they tell their siblings and their siblings' friends, like, how cool I am or whatever, and so that's how I get a majority of my enrollment.
No, that's
So
cool.
that's
Like,
how I get a lot of my kids.
I remember when you go to. Not only do I like the back to school shopping for supplies, the first day of school where you have your schedule and you got to figure out where you're going and you meet up with your friend, or enrollment day where you meet your friends up like, who did you get? Oh, I got Miss Johnson. Like, oh, I hear she's awesome. And, like see what classes you have together.
You might do a little
Yeah.
dry run. You might even walk the halls to
Yeah.
go find your classes.
See where you're going. But then you could change classes if you find out, oh, I'm going to switch this. We're going to be the same class together.
I was never a
think
class switcher.
Yeah, I wasn't a class switcher either. I think the worst thing about high school
Mhm.
was the locker situation. Did anybody else have that like dream where they forgot their locker combination?
Dude, I fucking have that all the time. That's so fucking
You
weird that we've
still
never
have
talked
it?
about this.
I think I still have it as an adult too.
I do.
I wake up in a
Oh.
panic and I can't open my locker.
Found it.
Oh, she found her list.
No,
Oh,
go
it's-
ahead.
yeah.
No,
You finish.
that was it. Like
Oh.
that was the worst part
Locker
of high school
combination
was
fear?
locker combination fear. Yeah.
What I hated about lockers was when I always wanted the Saved by the Bell locker. I always wanted the you can't do that on television locker.
The
The,
full-
tall
the
locker.
full
Yeah.
tall locker.
Oh, yeah.
No.
We
I-
have those at my school.
We were sold a bill of goods with Saved by the Bell and Beverly Hills 902 and all these things that like talk about, they show you like, this is what high school is going to be like. Like, fuck yeah, high school is going to be awesome. You know what it is? It's grade school with lockers.
Yeah.
And you have to go to different teachers for some reason to get you ready for college. It's like, one person
Well-
could teach me all this shit.
That's because when you get to that point, one teacher can't know all of that stuff. I can't teach AP U.S. history.
True.
I don't know.
Well, neither did the baseball coach who taught my U.S. history class. He just read it out
Right.
of a
Is
book.
that that still a thing in modern teaching? Like, are coaches still teachers, like history
Yes.
teachers?
Yeah.
Are they good? Or
No.
do they still suck?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes?
Most of the time they suck.
Okay.
I met that one at your school on Classics Day. Who did it, the recreations?
Oh, God. He's gone now, by the way.
So we can talk about him.
He's
Well-
never going to hear this, so yeah.
We-
he doesn't do cool things, so.
Once a year, like all the Latin kids go to OU and do like this thing called Classics Day.
Latin, as in the class Latin, not all the Latin kids in the school
Right.
together.
Right. The kids who are learning to
Essay.
speak Latin,
Writing an essay.
they go to Classics Day at OU and they do like little workshops
Hmm.
that are all Latin based or whatever. So there's always like another teacher, and sometimes I do chaperoning for this
It's really
absurd thing. No, it's not fun because I have to sit on a school bus with high school kids, and I'm like, why? I'm like 30. Why am I here?
Yeah, no. High school kids are not fun if you're not used to them.
No. One year, a coach came who taught history.
Mhm.
What sport did he?
He's soccer.
Soccer coach.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Militantly soccer.
So we all go to
Band name.
lunch, and like I'm kind of a history nerd, and so like I'm sitting next to him and his wife and Chelsey, and we're kind of talking about he does like historical reenactments of like Civil War battles. Like he's that guy.
Like on his off time.
Yes.
Yeah. That's yeah.
And
They
so
do those in Oklahoma?
yeah, there's Civil War battle sites here.
I didn't know they
Read
did
a book.
reenactments. So you see that, there's nothing you see in movies like,
He
People don't
probably
really do those.
travels. He's extra like
oh,
that.
he's like
Yeah.
into it.
like he's in.
Very
This is his
into-
thing.
He talked about it all of lunch.
That would
Yeah.
be considered like live action role play, right?
I
LARPing?
I happened to ask about it, and he just like went to fucking town on it, and he was like trying to get me to be involved in this because I was like into history, and he's like, yeah, pretty much, if you're an extra, you can be like a whore or like a mat. It was like two very derogatory female roles. He's like, if you're not a man doing like a war reenactment, you're like a prostitute.
He's we had a incident with
And he
him
gave me his
last
phone
year.
number.
Of course he did.
Creepy. You call him? Did you call him?
Yeah.
Cool.
We had an incident. I'm also the sponsor of the Gay Straight Alliance at our school.
Woo-hoo.
And which we're now changing the name to Spectrum, by the way. Cool. To encompass all LGBTQ community. But I have I don't have him as a student, but we have a transgender male who came to GSA, and luckily we had an awesome principal. We have a new principal now, but he gave all of our transgender students passes to go into the faculty bathroom so they could use the bathroom of their choice. And that's on the hush hush. Like, not all the students know that, because then after that you would have all these people being like, yeah, well, I'm transgender. Can I go into the faculty bathrooms? So,
Is the faculty bath? I've
They're
wondered
one-
about this
they're one-holers.
my entire life. They're one.
they're not nicer.
One
They're just-
holers.
Yeah.
That's like I've never heard that term.
Yeah, me neither.
So you're talking about like it's a
They're
room
one
like this big,
shooters.
but with a shitter and a
There's-
sink.
There's one toilet.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought
There's
maybe you
not
hover like in
stalls. No,
India.
no.
Okay.
I mean, we have ones that have stalls, but they
She's
were.
a real one holer, if you know what I mean.
oh, or he.
Huh?
Am I the only
Continue.
one that says that, one holer?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm going to continue.
Class is in
And-
session.
So, this transgender student was coming out of the bathroom at the same time that this gentleman that we were just talking about was trying to go into the bathroom, and he lets it rip on this kid saying, "You are a girl. You have to be a girl. You cannot go into the boys' bathroom. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't believe you know." But he retired because
Fuck that guy.
fuck that guy for real. And
Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck.
What made
No,
me
this is a Christian
so
podcast.
upset about it is I was not notified
Sure.
of this incident. Like, the student didn't tell me because he was mortified
Sure.
and didn't want to talk about it. I had to hear about it through the grapevine. And so at the end of the year, last year, when we were making flyers for GSA, one of the GSA students made a flyer and hung it outside of his door. And he came to me and was like, "Hey, I put one under his door. Is that okay?" I was like, "That's absolutely just fine."
Sure.
What did it say?
It was just promoting GSA.
Oh, okay.
It was like, "We love everybody." It had a
Okay.
rainbow on it. You know, it wasn't anything.
Trolling.
Yeah, it was something that they were going to put around all the school, and they decided to put it right on his door.
That's cool.
So-
That's the thing. The GSA. So we had like, we didn't have anything like that at our school. We didn't even know. Like, kids didn't come out. Like, there was definitely a handful of people that you knew were gay, but it was like, we were still in a time that it wasn't restricted. It was like,
I just wasn't publicly accepted at the
Right.
time.
And now it's like, that's
I've
awesome.
gotten hate mail from
What?
for being the GSA sponsor. I got one that was, "I'm a 1980 something alumni of this school, and I am just appalled that you have a gay straight alliance at your school. That is disgusting." And I was like, I forwarded it to my principal with my response back to him. I was like, "I'm sorry you feel that way,
Yeah.
but it's not going to stop."
Yeah, what can you
I don't
do?
know what you want me to do.
refuse to believe that gay people exist.
They do
Right.
not.
Yeah, not in this school.
But FCA was totally a fine thing to have.
Okay, but
Oh,
hold on.
absolutely, yeah.
But what a fucking loser to take the time to write you an email.
Yeah.
Is your
That's what I
high
was
school
thinking.
pride that important to
Well,
you?
and
I'm
he-
still a yellow
yeah.
jacket, god damn it.
He
No.
graduated.
Queers at this school. Like,
Dude,
what?
May 21st, 2000, I was
1980.
done being a jacket.
Wow.
For real.
That's
yeah,
so
it
insane.
was 1980 something. Like, you need to stop
Just-
caring about your high school so much.
backwards thinking. I think that's the thing. Like, if things haven't changed yet, I give it another like 5 years. You're in, it. So do you think it's like be 5 years before it's more just like everything is just kind of broadly and openly accepted, to where it's like, this is how things fucking are. Get over it. If you don't like it, there's the goddamn door.
Well, and it's getting to a point. That's why we changed the name to Spectrum, because GSA was no longer enough to encompass the progression of what's happening in that community.
Yeah.
Like, GSA was good, but there were a lot of kids coming to me saying, like, "I'm not gay, but I'm this."
Right.
And I'm like, "Yeah, no, you're still welcome. Please." And so that's why we decided to change the name, so that we can get more
Well, it's like,
involvement.
in like
That's very cool, by the way.
the
Okay, thank you so
90s,
much.
it was like the LGB, and then it was LGBT, and then you got so many letters to it. It's like, I think spectrums are great because it
thank you.
basically encompasses what everything is. It's a spectrum,
Right.
You ever have to call somebody out there and be like, "You're not gay.
I can't.
You're
You
just
can't
in
do
high
that.
school.
You're
You're just horny."
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm joking. This is a comedy show.
No, I'm serious. I think that about a lot.
But
Not a lot.
Of course, you
but
never say
I don't say it.
But
I
you
just,
have
you know
thought
what?
it.
I'm gonna let you do your thing, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm here for. I'm here for you to have a community.
Sure.
And if you decide in a year that you're not any of this stuff, okay,
That's fine.
I love
Right.
you still.
Right.
No matter.
let's be honest. Everyone's at least like 5% gay,
What?
or has had an experience, or
That's a blanket statement.
is it blanket?
It's a rainbow blanket
You
statement.
can kiss.
Yeah.
You can kiss or do something with another person of your same gender
True.
and not be gay.
Well, I'm saying
I
attraction.
agree.
But if you do that, you do get cooties.
You do.
That is very
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Cooties.
Yeah, let's stop being like, no one gave a shit about cooties after like, when you realize, oh, kissing's awesome. I like that.
Right.
When girls are no longer icky and they're pretty rad.
Think about it. It's the same thing. Have you ever kissed you're not gay, but have you kissed a girl that you didn't want to kiss?
yeah.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
Same diff.
you know what I'm saying? It's the same difference. So you kiss the same sex. You don't necessarily want to.
Yeah.
Or opposite sex, whatever your preference.
Yeah. I mean, it means
You don't enjoy it, but you might do it.
Teenage years are hard and awkward as fuck anyway. Like, I'd say let it just you be you, man. Because you honestly, you don't even know who or what you are now. I'm 36 and barely have a grasp on who I am. Like, it's I think sort of things like you just don't know. You think you do, you don't.
You know that classic teacher poster of the orange kitten?
Hanging there.
Oh yeah,
That's me at 37.
Just hanging in.
But by a little kitty pinky nail, just barely hanging on to reality, all of reality, everything, all of it. It's a beautiful ride, though.
It's a great ride.
We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
BoysPodcast.com is a hub of all things boys. There you'll find links to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Boys Podcast is available on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Please rate, review, subscribe, and tell a friend.
Email us, boys@boyspodcast.com. Give us a little feedback. Put your physical address on the bottom of the email. We will send you out some free stickies.
Thank you to our sponsor, Fat Bison, maker of high-quality wooden signs, furniture, trinkets, gadgets, gizmos, baubles, more. FatBison.com.
Thank you, the listener.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
The talker.
Thank you for your donations, for your retweets, for your shares, all of it, your feedback. It means the world to us. Thank you for boosting us doubly on this last ep.
But listen, you motherfuckers. We ask a question on Sunday nights on Instagram, at Boys Podcast on Instagram. Guess what? We shoot it over to Twitter. We don't even have to, but we do. Answer the son of a bitches or we're gonna stop. All right? Back to the show. We're back with Diana Montgomery and Chelsey Wilson. I'm Robbie Ray.
I am Josh Montgomery.
Thank you for making it this far in the episode. We got a few more things to discuss before we call it a night.
Very important thing.
One of those things is the slang for Wilson. Mm-hmm. You were so kind enough to text it over.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to address a few of these. We'll just start at the top. How about that?
Yeah, good.
Number one, what's the move?
This one makes sense.
What's the move? Any guesses on what's the move?
What's happening? What are we doing? What's next?
Bingo.
Yeah, people have been saying that for years.
All right. You big mad?
You big mad, you little mad. That's one of my favorite ones.
You big mad or you little mad?
You big mad like, you pissed? Or are you just like, I'm just a little peeved, but it's fine?
Never heard it. Man. All right. Number 3. Pressed.
Like, you're rushed?
Definition: when someone overreacts about a situation they shouldn't be that underlined upset about.
So they have a right to be upset, just not that upset.
What, you pressed?
You overreacting.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
You got it.
Cis.
Me. Like a attracted to the opposite sex male, right?
No, S-I-S.
S-I-S.
Sister.
Definition: petty remark to someone you don't like. So if I was like, hey, keep it down, sis.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect usage.
I passed. All right. Followed by number
hilarious.
5. Sus. S-U-S. I've heard this word, but I never knew what it meant. I am old.
What does it mean? I have no idea.
Definition: use when something you're hearing is suspicious.
That's sus.
So if it's like a little
sus.
scandalous, okay.
It's sus.
Sus. All right. 6. T. T-E-A.
Ooh, I've heard this one recently.
It's a beverage.
Here, I'm going to give you an example.
Mhm.
What's the T? Or That's the tea.
I have no idea.
Or spill the tea.
Spill the tea. That might help.
Vague.
That
might help.
yeah.
Spill the tea.
Gossip?
Got it.
Yes. It is gossip.
Definition. Said when there's juicy drama around that's either said or heard.
Oh, probably dating back to when women would sit around just a little tea time and they talk gossip.
That whole statement is offensive.
A tea party.
Welcome to Boys Podcast.
Josh is more of a fan of the lemon party. I'll give you some slang.
Oh,
Google it.
I know lemon party.
What is lemon party?
Don't
I'm out of the
Google
loop.
it. Oh,
I'll just set it
you
as
Google
your
later.
phone
Is it
background
the
later.
blue waffle thing?
Oh, no. Much hornier. 7. Okay, we're going to close it out here with It's Lit, fam. Now, remember, this was made for Chelsey.
Mhm.
Definition. Something only old people that are trying to be cool say. If you care about your reputation, don't double underlined. Use it, please, for your own sake.
I guess so. I mean,
Even just talking about this list makes it infinitely uncool.
Totally.
yeah.
Here's the
No,
thing.
that's
I
my
am-
goal. I'm gonna make all this lingo uncool
I am
before
infinitely
I leave
uncool, though.
teaching.
Yeah, but think
Yeah.
about all the dumb shit that we said in high school that was
That's true.
slang.
Like, what did we say? And I try and talk to my students. Like, I tell them how stupid their slang is. Oh, sorry. I don't-
There you go.
okay.
Like, what did we say? What did we say when we were younger? Because I don't remember.
I mean,
Like,
tight.
I remember like bite me,
Tight.
Tight.
but I was also like 12 when I said bite me.
Bite me would be one of them.
Pimp. It's pimp.
Oh, it's pimp.
Pimp.
But we made up a lot of our own terms that no one knew what they were. You could have a whole dictionary of
Oh, yeah.
Robbieisms.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, me and my sister did the same thing. We had a dictionary of terms of just dumb shit that we said to
So you
each
could
other.
say it to somebody and they would have no idea if you're being mean or cool.
Yeah.
I think we sat down once at Denny's and wrote down all of our
Denny's.
ISJs, which was our inside jokes. And it was Bible print, both sides of a piece of paper, like in the margins and everything.
Wow.
And I still have it. We'll have to bust
So
that
many.
out one of
Yeah.
these days. When y'all come back, I'll bust out my
No, that's what I'm saying.
embarrassing
I think when we were younger, there were terms but everyone said them. You know, cool. But there was no like
Jive.
It's lit fam. It's just,
Who said
Awesome.
drive?
old people. Much older than me.
I mean that's where like crack-a-lackin' and getting jiggy with it. Like
Keep
we
going.
didn't have sayings. It was just what the fuck ever, man. But now it's like it's this whole thing. It's
Hold
the
on,
lingo
though.
to go with the fashion, and it's the whole thing.
You have to remember though, like the generation before us, when we were speaking, we're like, what the fuck are they saying? It's
Yeah.
so stupid. Because the generation now of all the stuff that you just heard,
Mm-hmm.
they're going, what? That's just how we talk. Like it's not
Right.
like everyone knows what we're saying. How do you not know?
But yes, and 10
you're
years
old for
from
not
now,
knowing.
when they're in
They're
their
gonna be
mid-20s,
old.
they're like,
Right.
what are these dumb kids saying? It's cats in the yeah, okay, I keep saying that term a lot, but it is like you get old and you get churned out, man. You're done. You're not cool anymore.
That wheel in the
Oh.
sky that keeps on turning.
Were we ever cool
Journey.
though? Like you have that thought in your head that you're cool. Like you think that like going to the thrift store, you find this shirt, like this is it. And I've gone back and looked at pictures of myself, and I'm like, dude, you were not fucking cool. You were not cool.
No, you never were. I
No.
never was.
No.
Nope, not at all. I
But in
thought
your
I
head,
was.
you thought like, oh man, this looks so. If I dye it's gonna look really cool.
Yeah, if I cut all my hair, shave all my head except the very front, and grow that out real long, that's gonna be real cool. I stumbled
Look
across
awesome.
a video.
Oh,
A friend of mine burned on a DVD for me, and it was from our high school student news program, KJI,
Ooh.
and
What's that acronym for?
the lamest, keeping jackets informed.
Oh, because you were the yellow jackets?
Yeah.
Got
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay, I get it.
We kept the jackets real informed about nothing.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
So we would go around and do these interviews, and this was like around the time that Tom Green was really popular.
Oh yeah.
So we would do silly
My
stuff
bum
like
is on the something.
the Swedish.
it. The Swedish.
Yeah.
The hospital.
So we would do things like we would take the mic and ask a question, and then you'd like stick it in the person's face, but like hit them with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like rub their nose with it and just be awkward and be every time they talk, pull the mic away and say something else. Like we were just trying to be silly. Point of the story is, boy, did I look like a real turd.
Were you wearing
Dork.
Jinkos?
Kickwares.
kickwares.
Yep.
Those are
Kickwares.
off-brand Jinkos.
No, kickwares were more expensive
They
than
were more
Yeah.
Jinkos.
expensive.
Really?
At the
Yeah.
time, they were
You
like
couldn't find
I'm
them
sorry.
anywhere.
I worked at Hot Topic,
So
so
did
Jinko
I.
was the thing. I don't remember carrying kickwear.
Really?
Yeah.
What years? Do you remember what years you worked at Hot Topic?
Yes, unfortunately.
Let's hear 'em.
2004 to 2008.
All right, I was 98 to 2001.
Ooh.
Oh,
Different
way
scenes.
before me.
Yeah, different scenes.
Different
kickwares.
scenes.
Kickwares were the more expensive, more ravery.
Okay.
I just made up a
All
word.
right.
Wider leg,
Much wider.
They were like almost a dress.
pretty much.
Yeah, I was wearing some kickwares, like an old ratty sweater, like a thrift store find, and then I did have the cut.
Lots of necklaces.
Lots of necklaces. I had my eyebrow pierced. Oh boy, did I think
Yeah,
I
I
was
think
cool.
I was friends with you in high school. Definitely.
Oh, it was gross.
You guys
I'm
have
sorry.
any embarrassing high school, like things you thought you looked really fucking cool, but
Oh well, Jinko's number one.
Mhm.
I don't know. So in my high school, we had a dress code where you had to tuck in your shirt.
what?
Yeah.
Nerd.
Bummer.
Right?
Who tucks in your because when you're a teenager, you're not wearing button downs every day. You tuck in
Well,
a t-shirt.
So we were all in high school, maybe not you, like during Columbine. And so, of course, we're all gun-toting criminals.
Those
so,
goddamn guns, the shirts were untucked. That's how you know they're
That's
going to
how
be
you
mass
did it.
shooters.
So we all had like clear backpacks, and everybody
Wow.
had to tuck in their shirt. So I refused to do it. So I would only wear
Punk.
my Jinkos, my giant Jinkos, and like a sweater, like a hoodie or something like that. That's where in Houston,
Something you didn't have to tuck in.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
No. If
in
you-
like May in Houston, and I'm wearing a sweatshirt because
Just
I refuse
sweating.
to tuck in my shirt.
If you go back and look at the Columbine shooters, all those nerds had their shirts tucked in. They had
did.
like their South Park shirt tucked into their like military
like
pants.
they're
Right.
like, or their no fear hat on backwards. We my school did a ban on you couldn't wear trench coats to school.
Yeah, we also had a trench coat band. There was like
There's
one
still trench coats banned.
fucking
Trench
weird
coat
kid who wore a trench coat.
We had one weird kid who wore a trench coat.
Yeah. And he was a ginger, which, made it worse for him. And like he was like really he had a ponytail.
Oh, it's all coming back.
Yeah. So like imagine like a young Chuck Norris in a trench coat, which is not dissimilar to how Chuck Norris dressed.
I bet he had,
Terrifying.
I bet he had like ninja stars and all
Of
kinds
course
of
he
stuff.
did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why
real
wouldn't he
cool
probably?
dude.
Yeah,
That kid had a
I got these
rough
on
high
eBay.
school time.
Our trench coat kid, he had katanas. Like he
Definitely.
Oh.
literally carried
Yeah.
around a katana
Yeah.
under his trench coat.
Like
Hey.
Highlander.
yeah. Yeah.
Guys, those kids still exist. Those kids will never go away. They have
There's
the same
always
style. They have the same weaponry.
See, that's that's one of the things I wanted to ask you because, like, they're what do you call them for a reason? Like, there's different
Incels.
groups. Yeah, there's stereotypes
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
high school. You see them at every fucking no matter what. They span generations. There's the nerds, the jocks, the goths, the punks, the skaters, the burnouts, all that shit. So, what does that look like now? Like, what is so like when we were in school? Like the preps were the cool kids, and they were their Tommy Hilfiger and shit. So what's like? Is there that anymore, or is it all just kind of like a
Yeah,
mishmash?
It's more of a mishmash. However, there are still like the popular girls where it's almost like they put their hair in a ponytail before they go to bed, and then when they wake up, you know how your hair looks after you wake up.
Just like disheveled.
Yeah, just kind of like hanging a little bit.
I've noticed this look on young women.
Yes, it looks like that, and then they also wear like Victoria's Secret like short, like sport shorts.
Okay.
And like really baggy shirts. So I'm a class sponsor and we take t-shirt orders right now. And, it's like you'll see a girl who probably wears a size small, but she's ordering
An extra
large.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very slouchy right now.
Yeah, the exact opposite. You wanted a shirt to fit real tight.
Right. And
Yeah.
we have to dress code them a lot because their shorts are too short and their shirt comes down below their shorts. And that's a no-no.
It's always been
Per
a no-no.
dress code.
Oh yeah, well you have that. Everyone has that dress code where
Yeah,
the
it has
girls
to
you
go
can
down
put
to
your
the tip of your middle finger is where
Well,
your
you know,
shorts are
because
supposed to go.
God, if you show any more than that, it's just gonna make all the dudes horny, and you can't be having that.
No,
It's
I know.
not like
I
we're
mean,
just raging full of hormones anyway. You could be wearing a fucking turtleneck shirt and like covered. We're still be like, oh.
I know. Well, and like, why don't we start teaching these young boys to not be offensive and disgusting?
Zing.
Right.
Why is
Rather
it on
than,
us?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. You
oh my
can't put
God,
the blame
legs.
on girls
I can't
because
do it.
it doesn't matter what you wear. Like you could, like, what's the Middle Eastern thing where you're covered but just the eyes? The burqa, is that what that is? You could be wearing that and dude just be like, oh, because you're horny constantly. So instead of
That's
being like
really
girls don't
good
dress
to
like
know.
whores, you be like,
Yeah.
hey dudes, here's the thing. A lot of things are going on in your body right now, and you just want to put your dick in or on anything. So maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Treat people with a little bit of respect.
Maybe
Learn-
don't do that.
Maybe
Or
don't
just,
do that.
yeah, just don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah,
Like,
basically.
That's all you got to do. It's really not hard.
so let's talk footwear. What are the cool girls wearing these days? Flip flops, Birkenstocks,
Yeah.
just like me.
Basically, the 90s are now.
Yes.
See, and that was going to be my
I know
question.
that.
That was going to be my question about like the cool kids, whether they're like the nerds, the cool nerds, or the cool jocks, or the cool whatever. Like if I go to the mall and I see a group of like teenagers, and this is gonna make me sound super old, but they all just look the same to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
because they look the same as we did when we were in
exactly.
high school.
Yeah. It's so weird to look back at that.
There
like,
was like a. This is just starting for me. Like this was not. This hasn't always been the fashion for girls. So there was an in between where they were all done up and looked cute. And so in the past probably like 3 or 4 years, it has been straight 90s, and it's disgusting to me.
because you lived it.
Because I lived it.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom saying that. I remember in the 90s, I was obsessed with my mom's old clothes because she still had some. And I would wear them, and she'd be like, oh my God, that is an awful shirt. And I'm like, why do you still have it then?
Yeah.
Like we were the 70s. Like
Yeah.
when we were in
right.
high school, right? Yeah.
So technically, the 70s are coming
but with
back.
chinkos.
Right.
Through a 90s
but with a
lens.
90s twist.
A 90s twist.
Well, yeah, like I remember we're like going back to thrift store finds like polyester like pants, like grandpa pants, like belled out.
Are you talking about Sansa pants?
Sans belt.
Sans belt.
Yeah. That kind of shit was cool. And then you find like a 70s dress, like a big collared dress shirt, because that was cool for some reason. And but yeah, now, because that was 96, 97 would be 77 is what we were trying to look at, like with our own little twist to it. And then now, yeah, kids are wearing like Doc Martens and flannel shirts around the waist, and they'll wear like Nirvana t-shirts and shit. And they're like, even the music now is kind of sounding like very 90s influenced. So you have bands that have like a, what do they call, like chill wavy kind of, I don't know. Like it seems to me like 90s era emo is becoming like, they're building music on top of what was cool then. And I guess it's always been that way. Yeah, it's just weird. So are there different demographics, or is it just all one hub? Like, are there nerds still?
Oh, yeah.
And are they still
She
your
teches all of them.
stereotypical nerd?
Let me tell you who's the queen of the nerds. This one right here. I've been meaning to tell you. Harry Potter used to be like super popular, and now only the nerds are into Harry Potter. So if I
can see
mention
that.
Harry Potter in my class to new kids that haven't met me before, half of it used to be like the whole class was like, oh my God, this lady's awesome. She likes Harry Potter. Now,
Because there's not movies in
half
theaters
of
anymore.
it, maybe not even half, but like 3/4 of the class is like, oh my God,
So passe.
Harry Potter. I hate Harry Potter. And then you also have the extreme nerds who are like, yeah, she has Harry Potter tattooed on her. She's so hardcore. Like, they think I'm cool.
Yeah, because you.
Whereas-
You've come full circle.
Right. The other ones do not think I'm cool at all, which I'm fine with. Because I'm not cool.
So
think
you have
you're very
students that
cool.
think you're cool.
Oh, thanks.
Chelsea's pissing again.
Pissing some
little
LaCroix.
folly
Sorry.
work here.
I was under the impression that drinking was allowed in here.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Just kidding.
Just not loudly.
Sorry.
Just kidding.
Tito's handmade vodka.
Here.
So you
listen
have-
to it pour.
Ooh, that's a good sip.
Thank you.
So you have students that think you're cool. On our last episode, Robbie, me and Dylan and Robbie talked about crushes, having crushes, or like you're trying to impress someone.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys have that? And B,
Did we have crushes on people? Is that your
did they go,
question?
okay, have you
Never.
ever had an instance where you were it blew up in your face, or it was just a super awkward situation?
Oh,
where you
like
felt totally embarrassed?
13 through 27 was awkward. Like
No, like I'm gonna try to impress this person, and it just like
I have a very specific humiliating crush story. It's not that humiliating, but when you're in 8th grade, it is. You know, I had just moved to Bartlesville from Edmond. I hated this
downgrade.
town. Yes,
definitely
exactly.
downgrade.
I mean, in hindsight, upgrade, but at the time, totally downgrade. I hated it, but it was, you go to a small town and you're new, and they just latch on to you like, oh my god, you're the new girl, you're the new girl.
From the city.
So yeah,
City girl.
exactly. Like, oh my god, like she's from a big town.
Yeah, yeah.
Not really, but so they like all the cheerleaders were trying to get me to go to cheer. Didn't do it. That's not my cup of tea. I got in with all the weird Catholic punk rock kids. Here's what happened in Bartlesville. It was Baptist cheerleader popular people or the weird Catholics. And being raised Catholic, they were like, oh, they heard I was Catholic, and they just latched on. And I was like, oh, thank God. I like you people way better than these other weird people. But for that weird period of time after I first moved there was this kid named Landon.
Ooh, even a cool name.
Oh, yeah. He was so cute. I'm not going to say his last name because you never know. What if he's listening? That would be weird. He'd be like, I don't even know who you are. But he, through the grapevine, through friends, it's like, oh, Landon likes you. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think Landon's your boyfriend. Landon said he wanted to be your boyfriend. I was like, okay. So we had a plan to sit together at lunch.
Through friends, though.
But
you
again,
guys
this was
never
all
spoke
through
to
friends.
each other. Okay.
Right. So I sit down at lunch. I have my piece of pizza. And I see Landon coming out. And he just walks right by me. And he goes and sits at another table. And I was like, oh my God. This is it. He just broke my heart. We just broke up. I can't do it.
Oh, no.
I can't do it.
We broke up.
And so all my friends were like,
Before it even started.
I can't believe he's such an asshole. I can't believe he didn't sit with you. And I was like, did he actually say that he liked me? Like, did he say he wanted to be my boyfriend? Well, I don't know. I don't know. We heard it from his friends. Okay.
See, that kind of like, we didn't have that. I got to do the whole different world with communication, like amongst teenage girls.
Yeah. Well, that was, before cell phones. So it was through the grapevine.
Literally.
It was, right.
It's like a game of telephone.
Yeah.
Like, someone will say this, and it ends up being, oh, I heard he wants to make out with you. Like, no, he just said he thought you had a cool shirt on.
Right.
No, he said you're the new girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, she's
That's
cool.
it.
Yeah.
She's cool. Opposite side of that, now as a teacher, have you had... So another thing we talked about, I had a crush on a teacher when I was a kid. We've all had like student crushes or teacher crushes. Have you had that happen? Like have a student...
I did. It was 2 years ago, and I had a student, a very awkward child. Like more awkward than I'm used to. I'm used to the awkward kids, and I didn't know what to do with this kid. He was Latin 2. I think I told you about this.
I know the story.
Yeah, you do. He came after school, and I was at school till probably like 4:30, and I keep my door open, in case kids need to come in or whatever. It's always good to have your door open when you're a teacher. So he comes in, he's waiting for his dad to pick him up, and he starts awkwardly telling me about how he wants a girlfriend, and he likes girls, but he doesn't know how to ask them out, and he liked a girl in my class, but he didn't know what to do. And I was like, well, have you talked to her? And he was like, yeah, but she said she doesn't want to go out with me. And I was like, well, then she doesn't want to go out with you.
No means
like,
no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
There's really nothing you can do about that. But you can focus on someone else, And so he gets in this weird conversation about how he's like not very close with his mom because his parents are from a different country. His mom does not speak a lot of English. And so she's really cold to him. Like they don't communicate a lot. And he's getting real philosophical with it, going, do you think it's because my mom doesn't talk to me a lot that I need this validation from women? And I was like,
and you're just like in your planning period, like, I don't know.
No, this is after school. I'm like,
Where's your
trying
dad?
to plan for the next day. I'm like, I don't know. Sure, probably. It could be. And
Does your school not have counselors?
right, they do. That's the
I
problem.
realized that he was.
No,
okay.
he doesn't. No, the counselors unfortunately don't really do much counseling as much as they do scheduling.
Oh,
is
cool.
their job. So he, at the very end, I'm like, okay, great. He's wrapping it up. He starts to leave, and he goes, "So, can I tell you something?" I was like, "I don't know."
Another thing?
I don't know.
You told me a lot of
I'm
things.
scared,
man.
right? I'm scared of what you're about to tell me, but sure, go ahead. And he goes, "I like you," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like you like I'm a good teacher. You think I'm a cool teacher,
Yeah.
Right.
And he goes, "No, that's not what I mean." And I was like, oh, "Okay, so you like view me as a mother figure because I'm comforting." He goes, "No, that's not what I mean." And I was like, "I don't."
That only leaves one thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was like, I have like I like you, like I have a crush on you. And I was like, "Okay. You need to go." I'm sorry. I was like, I'm extremely uncomfortable with this conversation. I need you to leave. And he was like, "I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said anything." I was like, "No, you shouldn't have. And I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be rude, but you shouldn't have said anything. That's extremely inappropriate." So he leaves. I go across the hall to one of my good teacher friends, and I was like, "Oh my God, this just happened." And I called my the principal who's like over our department, and I told her what happened, and she goes, "Well, that's new."
Oh.
And I was like, "Yeah, you're telling me.
So-
what do I do?"
So how much longer in the school year did you have?
This was the second semester of his Latin 2 class. So he needs 2 language credits. So, but still, sure as shit, the next day, I'm telling my principal, I was like, "You have to get him out of my class. I can't do this."
Yeah,
like,
it's
this
awkward.
is extremely awkward. And she's like, "Okay, well, we'll see what we can do tomorrow." He left, right? And I was like, "Yeah, he left. But I don't know what to do tomorrow because I have him in second hour." So before school, I go to the counselors. I was like, "You have to get this kid out of my class, like, right now." And they come back and go, "Well, he only has like a couple of months of Latin 2 left. Why don't you just not talk to him?" I'm like, "Not talk to a kid in my class? Like,
Yeah.
what are you saying?"
Dude, there's the elephant in the goddamn
I
room
was-
every time. It's like, dude.
I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was still of the grade that he could start over with another language.
Yeah.
And to protect myself, I was absolutely okay with that. So the counselors wouldn't pull him out of my class. And the principal that I was talking to, she pulled him into her office and was like, "You know that Miss Wilson is very uncomfortable with what you told her." And he was like, "Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have said anything. Can I go apologize?" And she goes, No, you just shouldn't bring it up ever again.
Right.
Ever.
Drop it.
Ever
Bury
again.
it. Yeah.
And so she called me and she was
Talk
like,
about it in 10 years on the podcast.
She goes, "I'm sorry," right? She's like, "I'm sorry that I can't do anything. Just try and make it through. Let me know if you have any other problems." And, they're not at fault. I understand what
Right.
you're saying. They have an obligation to get these kids through these credits. And
Yeah.
so at the very end of the school year, though, he did come up to me and he was like, "I'm not supposed to say this to you, but I'm really sorry." And I was like, "Okay, thank you.
Go away.
Please, I don't ever want to relive that ever again."
Well, see, but
Except on a podcast.
all to hundreds of thousands of people.
Thousands of people.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I, every young man had a crush on a teacher,
Oh, yeah.
but not every young man professed that
Right.
crush. Just
That's-
keep it inside.
I don't. If you have one, fine.
Right.
Don't say anything about
Tell
it.
your friends about it.
Right. Don't tell the teacher.
Draw
What do you
think's
pictures
gonna
of her,
happen?
you know?
Write a poem. Write it in your journal. If kids still do that. Live journal. No, I
Whoa.
did mine, but
Live journal.
I wrote it in a letter, and I
Stone
gave it to her
tablet.
the last day of school. The last day to even be in that school. It was my 6th grade year, so I would go to 7th grade. Wouldn't even be in the same school at all. Gave her the note, and that's it.
That's how to be a creep, man.
Wait,
Good
you
job.
delivered? You delivered the note?
No, remember I told you on the last episode.
Oh,
I
that's
handed
right.
it to
That's
her,
right.
and then I left. Like the bell rang, gave her the note, left, and then she called my parents, told my parents about it,
Aw.
and not like she's mad at me way, but like she thought it was cute. And then, but I did that strategically, knowing that I won't have to come back tomorrow. I will never have to come back to the school. I'll never see this person again. It's kind of my like,
That would have been way different if that would have happened. But
No, I'm not.
the fact that he had to
I have
come
a
back
crush on you.
You might have held it to your heart and just been like, "That's sweet."
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like,
Oh,
that's
that's-
cute. That's
Yeah.
pretty adorable. I get it. But
Yeah.
don't tell me.
Don't make it fucking awkward.
Well, with the
Right.
months
In the
left,
middle of
like,
semester.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
got to
not-
be really awkward for you.
Yeah, it really was.
and for
really-
him
really
as
was.
well. Like now you have to
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
no, it was both of us extremely awkward. We really did not speak to each other. Like he used to actually come in for help a lot, and now I know why. But he stopped after that, and started.
Did he pass your class?
He did barely, but he did.
Good
I
job.
thought you were going to say straight A.
Right, you're
Hell no.
Get the fuck out of my class.
D's get degrees. Bye. See you later.
Well, all
That's
right.
So crazy.
We got to wrap it up. Ladies, it's been fun.
Like you don't. Oh, I'm sorry. That was.
Oh.
Back to the condom thing.
Wow.
I know. I was trying to make a condom joke and it just didn't work.
It worked.
Oh, it worked.
So, real quick,
Yes.
before we part ways, how do we find Champion Vintage online? Let's
We
get
have
the plug in there.
okay. We have an Instagram page. It's champion_vintage_OKC, all lowercase. It made me make a Facebook page, so we're somewhere on that. And then we have a Big Cartel website. If you go to our Instagram page, there's a link to it. It's also at championvintageokc.bigcartel.com.
Very cool. Thank you, ladies.
Buy our
so
shit.
much for coming by and spilling the beans.
Thanks for having us.
I spilled a lot of beans.
There,
I'm sorry.
there were a few
There were
beans.
some beans in there.
Some Tito beans.
Kids need to say that. That's a saying.
Tito beans.
Spill the beans. Put that on the list. It's a
Spilling
good,
the beans?
It's a good slang
Remember
term.
cool beans?
Cool beans.
Oh,
beans.
That's definitely
Yeah.
a sad thing we used to say.
Mhm.
I think my mom still says it.
Way to go out on a high note there. Cool beans.
Cool
beans.
beans.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
you.
Bye.